Latest on another big story we've been following tonight, an investigation into a Russian investor's involvement with a Maryland-based company that handles some of the voting software for Maryland State Board of Elections.
And this comes the same day that 12 Russians were indicted for hacking emails and computer networks during the 2016 presidential election. WMAR 2 News' Eddie Kadam was in Annapolis tonight, where state leaders responded to the news that they got from the FBI.
A Russian oligarch is one of the major investors for an Annapolis-based company. BikeGrid, formerly known as Citus, is a software vendor. They maintain portions of the Maryland State Board of Elections voter registration platform.
This is the evil empire, and they are at our door when they invest in our election process. And we've got to be aware of it, prepare, and make certain other people do that as well.
The FBI says BikeGrid is financed by AltPoint Capital Partners. Their largest investor, a Russian oligarch named Vladimir Putin.
That goes back to the 1990s and is very close to the Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin.
The FBI says there was no breach or criminal activity found. Still, the Board of Elections is going through contracts and asked Maryland's Attorney General to look into it. Kristen Clark, the president and executive director of the National Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law, says the state shouldn't be the one to investigate this, calling for an independent third party to carry out the investigation.
It's time to bring in somebody who is independent and has the requisite expertise who can determine whether or not data was altered, whether or not these systems are reliable. We are in the midst of a midterm election cycle, and it's important that the public be able to have confidence in the way that the state is running its elections.
And this comes on the same day 12 Russians were indicted for interference in the 2016 election process.
This doesn't feel like sheer coincidence. There really appears to be a coordinated attack on our democratic system in the United States. And we now know that Maryland is one place that may have been vulnerable to an attack.
An investigation into a Russian oligarch investing in American election machinery in the state of Maryland. Eddie Kadam, WMAR 2 News.